Football, the beautiful game, a sport that unites nations, inspires dreams, and brings billions together. But behind the grandeur of the World Cup and the glory of the pitch lies a murkier tale, one of power, money, and corruption. Welcome to our series on FIFA corruption. In this first episode, we explore the roots of scandal and how FIFA's structure paved the way for the controversies we'll cover in the episodes to come. The World Cup is more than just a football tournament. It's a global celebration of culture, sport, and unity. But as FIFA grew in power, the beauty of the game became overshadowed by the corruption that crept into its core. Founded in 1904, FIFA was established to govern international football. Its goal was to promote the game and unite the world through sport. But as football grew into a global phenomenon, so did FIFA's power and its potential for abuse. By the mid-20th century, the World Cup had become a cultural juggernaut, and FIFA's role in organizing it gave the organization unparalleled influence. FIFA's early leaders were idealists, but as the organization expanded, it became clear that its structure was vulnerable to manipulation. Power was concentrated in a few hands, and there was little accountability. This lack of oversight set the stage for decades of corruption, as officials discovered they could wield FIFA's power for personal gain. The growing popularity of football created a massive revenue stream from ticket sales, sponsorships, and broadcasting rights. But as money flowed in, so did opportunities for corruption. FIFA's leaders faced few constraints, and the lack of transparency in financial dealings only encouraged misconduct. In 1974, FIFA elected João Havelange as its president. Under his leadership, FIFA transformed from a modest governing body into a global financial powerhouse. Havelange's vision was clear: commercialize football to maximize profits. Havelange brokered lucrative sponsorship deals with brands like Coca-Cola and Adidas and secured massive broadcasting rights deals. This influx of money elevated FIFA to unprecedented levels of wealth, but it also attracted greed. Havelange's tenure marked the beginning of a culture where financial gain often took precedence over the integrity of the game. He created a system that centralized power around the presidency, making it easy to misuse funds without scrutiny. Indeed, Havelange himself faced accusations of accepting bribes, though he avoided prosecution. His legacy was a double-edged sword. He globalized football, but also normalized a culture of corruption. Havelange's impact extended beyond the financial realm. He cultivated relationships with leaders in developing nations, using FIFA's resources to secure votes and cement his influence. This approach laid the foundation for how future FIFA leaders would consolidate power. By the time Havelange stepped down, FIFA had become a behemoth, its coffers overflowing with revenue from tournaments, sponsorships, and TV rights. But the culture of unchecked power would only deepen under his successor. In 1998, Havelange's protege, Sepp Blatter, succeeded him as FIFA president. Blatter inherited an organization already marred by scandal, and his leadership would take corruption to new heights. Blatter promised reforms and transparency, but behind the scenes he maintained the same exploitative practices that had become entrenched under Havelange. Under Blatter, FIFA's executive committee, a small group of officials who controlled key decisions, became a hotbed of bribery and vote buying. Blatter's leadership style was all about consolidating power. He ensured loyalty by funneling money to member associations, especially in developing nations. This strategy kept him in office for years, but it also allowed corruption to flourish. Blatter's era also saw an expansion of FIFA's reach. World Cup tournaments grew larger, broadcasting rights became more valuable, and sponsorship deals hit new highs. But these successes masked deeper issues within the organization. Under Blatter, FIFA's top officials enjoyed perks and privileges funded by the organization's growing wealth. The lack of oversight made FIFA an incubator for systemic corruption. The 2006 World Cup, held in Germany, is often remembered for its thrilling matches and passionate fans. But behind the scenes, questions lingered about how Germany secured the hosting rights. Allegations of irregularities in the bidding process emerged years later, raising concerns about the integrity of FIFA's decision-making. While investigations never yielded conclusive proof, the whispers of scandal left a shadow over what was otherwise a celebrated tournament. Controversies surrounding the 2006 World Cup bid underscored the vulnerabilities in FIFA's governance. Critics argued that the organization's lack of transparency made it difficult to trust any of its decisions. The 2006 tournament highlighted the growing concerns about how FIFA awarded hosting rights, setting the stage for the scandals that would explode in the following decades. To understand FIFA's corruption, we need to examine its structure. At its core is the Executive Committee, which wields enormous power over decisions like World Cup hosting rights. This centralized system made it easier for officials to engage in bribery, as there was little oversight. FIFA's governance model is fundamentally flawed. Officials operate with impunity, and there's a lack of transparency in financial dealings. This created an environment where corruption became the norm. Moreover, FIFA's reliance on sponsorships and broadcasting deals created further opportunities for financial misconduct. Companies eager to associate with football's global appeal were willing to pay top dollar, often without scrutinizing how their money was used. The seeds of FIFA's corruption were sown long before the 21st century. From Havillange's commercialization to Blatter's consolidation of power, FIFA's leaders created a culture where greed overshadowed the love of the game. In the next episode, we'll explore the 2006 World Cup in greater depth and begin unraveling the truth behind FIFA's most controversial moments. Join us as we embark on this journey to uncover the darker side of the beautiful game. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our series. Together, let's uncover the truth about FIFA corruption.